Hey, what's up, homies? It is TK here, and in this lesson, I'm about to go over a fundamental roller skate technique called bubbles. Now, bubbles is a great way to move yourself either forwards or backwards while you're skating, and it's essentially back and forth between the feet coming in towards one another, then going out away from each other, then coming back in and going back out. So we're going to go through how to do that safely and how to have fun while you're doing it. So I drew up this diagram right here that walks through the mechanics of what's going on when we skate bubbles. So as you can see, we're starting with our feet opened up in the direction that we plan to move. Now, when we're in that, we want to have a good athletic stance in our bodies, about a 90-degree angle within both of our feet. And then by pushing outwards with our knees, as well as our quads and our legs, our skates are naturally going to move away from one another. Now, the tricky part is making sure that you don't get too wide outside of the shoulder framework, and then you can't wrangle the feet back in together. So be mindful of that while you're going into that first open. Now, once you get to that widest point, you want to go ahead and switch and engage through your inner thighs, moving our weight into the inside edges of our skates. And we want to pull those feet back in towards one another until we get into about hip width, maybe even a little more narrow than hip width. Once we're there, we're alternating back out to those outside edges, pointing our toes outwards, and we're engaging our quads to move those skates away from one another. Now, next up, I have a video of me doing this motion from both the top as well as from a front-on view, so you can see the mechanics for yourself. Okay, so here you have me set up, and I already have that V formed in my skates where the two heels are pulled together. Also, the skates are relatively close to one another. Now we're going to push outward with the quads and let the skates just roll. Here they go, rolling outward. Then this is where that pivot point happens, and then we turn it back inwards. So on the inward, we're going to turn those toes towards one another. We're going to pull with our inner thighs, and then once we get it to a close point where we can straighten out, we're going to go ahead, turn those toes outward, and then push back out. Here's one more look at that from above. We're engaging through our quad muscles to push our knees and the toes of our skates away from each other. We're taking that to about shoulder width, which is our outside limit, and then shifting our weight back to our inside edges by engaging through our inner thighs and pointing our toes towards each other. So there you go. Now you are ready to go ahead and start skating bubbles. Before you go, always make sure to check in with your feet, check in with your stance, and then if that all looks good, move forward from there. So I hope that you learned something from this video. Also, if there's something that you'd like me to focus on in the future in terms of topics, please let me know. I love making these, and I love putting more out there and helping people to level up. Also, if you find yourself around Venice Beach, please give me a shout. It'd be a pleasure to skate with you. Cheers.